What's around, everyone, and welcome to your new moon, reading for Scorpio. I am going to be doing a Scorpio season, but right now these energies are just so aligned that I said, let me do the new moon first, and then I will head on over to the Scorpio season. Happy Scorpio season to all the Scorpios out there. How are y'all doing? What's going on with you guys? You know what I'm saying? Happy flight day. Happy solar return, right? Happy born day. Happy birthday. Happy everything, okay? You got the whole season, okay? Get you in the power. You got the power, all right? And boy, y'all coming in just okay? So right now we got the new moon, which basically means the sun and the moon are together, okay? They're like, hey. The other one's like, hey. And like, how you doing? Like, good. How you doing? Like, fine. You know what I mean? What's around type of deal. And they're both in Scorpio, okay? And this is 2 degrees, both of them. Okay? And not only that, they are visited by Venus. Venus is also conjuncted and like, hey, what's going on over here? What y'all valuing over here? What y'all be appreciating over here? You know what I'm saying? What you doing? What you doing to get that appreciation, that love? And then Scorpio moon and Scorpio sun over here, like we are both in alignment. So right now we talking about what we need to get rid of. Okay, that's what they saying. And meanwhile, Venus is like, okay, I feel you on that, because I know when I be trying to do stuff, you know, I gotta get rid of things that and protect what, you know, what I appreciate, what I love. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, Scorpio. I get it. And we just came out of Libra season, which is a Venus sign. And right now, since the sun is still 2 degrees Scorpio, we are still feeling the Libra energy. So shout out to all the Libras out there, especially if you're born during this week and a little bit of last week, then you are a cuspy baby. That means you are dealing with your Libra side and you are a Scorpio, okay? So look that up in your natal chart and you will see it. So anyway, so I'm going to be using the gold lyre, right? You know I had to break out the gold lyre, okay? Still some Libra energy in there. So I was like, oh, let me break her out right now. Let me get these Venus Libra cards out right now, the golden lyre card. I do have these on my Etsy site, so the link is below if you like these cards, because you know how you watching tarot card readers, you're like, ooh, where'd she get that from? And you be all in the chat and whatnot trying to figure out where the cards come from. So it's real easy, okay? You just click it and it's right there, and they're beautiful cards because they got the metallic gold on it and stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the story. So that's what's coming on. And then, you know, the neighborings are like Mercury. Okay, shout out to my Mercury people out there, which is hanging out in Libra, which is feeding a lot of that communication, trying to balance the communication, what to say, what not to say. And now we're in Scorpio season, and Libra, and Mercury moves pretty fast, so he will be showing up real soon with everybody. Like, hey y'all, what's going on over here? I heard Venus was over here. Hey Venus, what's going on? What's up, Scorp sun? What's up, Scorp moon? You know what I'm saying? And well, by that time, the moon will be in Sagittarius, but still, you know, Mercury be like, you know, they buddy with Jupiter and whatnot. So of course Mercury loud, so Mercury gonna be all between the houses talking. But anyway, because that's what Mercury do. So Mercury being in too. So, but we're in Scorpio season right now, and it's just a new moon. And if you are thinking about what you should say you say it now? Should you say it later or whatever? You know, just let it go for a moment. You know, I would let it go. Maybe, what's today? Yeah, so I would let it probably by like Sunday, You know, it may be a good time. Saturday, Sunday might be by then you'll probably have an answer, or whether it's a good time to say something, you know, where more than you will know that, or just keep it to yourself because you need to work on some things. And, you know, maybe it's a attitude thing you got to work on, a mental thing you got to work on, emotional thing. But whatever it is you got to work on before you express that, go ahead and do that. It's okay to be quiet. Scorpionic energy is a very, people think they're mysterious, but no, they just stay down until it's time to come up, you know, and if you don't bother it, it's not going to bother you type thing. And it knows how to handle its emotions. Technically, I know y'all like, I know some Scorpios, I don't know, but yeah, but it's there for them to get if they're willing to improve on it. Where they can be emotional regulators, you know, they're able to balance, you know, the emotions out and everything, and what makes sense and what not makes sense, you know. And just because they appear to be brave don't mean that they're not checking their emotions and checking other people's emotions. No, because they're water signs, so they deal, you know, with emotions. You know, if you ever been in love with a Scorpio, you know, okay, because they love deep. That means if you piss them off, they're gonna be pissed off deeply too. But the whole idea here is to stay down until you're ready to come up. You know, Scorpios, you know, that energy is very secretive. And we have the North Node in Scorpio too, so it might be some past things that is coming up right now and maybe been lingering for a moment for you. And you just now, with this energy of bravery, you want to express it. You know, you want to express those dark things out. Hence Scorpio season. And I already told you, Venus is there and Mercury is ready to help you say it. You know what I'm saying? So with no problem. But at this point, you probably like, well, you know, maybe you value that friendship or that relationship or that job or whatever situation, circumstances that we're talking about here, and you don't want to, you know, burn any bridges or F it up in any kind of way. So you're like, should I not? Yeah, hold it. Just, I don't even know, hold it. Just kind of let it go, because it is the new moon, so you want to be new and be light about things. So just put it on, you know, put it on the shelf, or what they say, or put it on the back burner or something, and just, or in the freezer, depending on how hot or cold. So if you're hot, you may need to put it in the freezer to cool it down. If it's too cold, you may need to, you know, warm it up a little bit, loosen it up, right? So you can be working that out over the past next 5 days or something like that, you know, 4 to 5 days. And then by that time, you should be stable enough and well aware of the situation to know how to do it. And this is without thinking. This is just you going about your day like, whatever, because it's bothering you. Just let it sit for a minute. You know, take it off your back, sit it down, walk away from it, do other things, you know, and then just based on what you're doing on a daily basis without thinking about it or feeling about it, you'll get the answer. It'll be like, oh, okay. Yep, this is the, yep. But wait, because the new moon is here and it is, you know, conjunct to the sun. So just hold up a little, because Scorpio energy is nothing to be played with, okay? You can get burned, stung, put to death, all that kind of stuff. And speaking of put to death, let's talk about what these cards are for. I'm always talking about the alignments and things, but that's important, right? So that's actually more important than the cards. The cards just add, you know, color, flavor, an image, you know, it's easy to get across when you see a picture, when you're dealing with, you know, humans and stuff like that. You think, right. And it carries its own energy too. So it can, you know, be like a little, you know, sprinkles and stuff. Everything's already set, but it just adds a little, you know, type of thing to it. So anyway, so here's the reading. The reading is about dead dad to birth this. So dead dad to birth this. Hold on, I'm just going to, okay. A card just popped out before I started, so I just want to get a pre of what's going on. Okay, so just oh gosh, I should have just let y'all see it. God dang it. Hold on a second. Y'all know I'm mercurial. I'll be moving fast sometimes, and then it'd be like, nope, stop right there. But anyway, so I don't waste time, because I don't want to cut this video into a part 2. But soon, hopefully soon, I'll be going. I can go live. I haven't even looked up what the number of people that got subscribed or whatever to get it. But when I do, that's when I'll start going live, because then, you know, nothing won't get cut off. All right, so this card came out, and when you do like any kind of energy work or whatever, you really have to acknowledge things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to skip this because you know, Mercury, I had to see. You know what I'm saying? I had to see. So this is just a pre-card that came out. I wanted to show to all of y'all, no matter what zodiac sign, is the Strength card, the number 8. And how ironic, because Scorpio is in the 8th house, or came out of the 8th house. Okay, so Strength. So whatever comes out with what you need to dead in order to birth, you know what I mean? Just keep in the back of your mind that the bottom underlying layer is have strength. Have strength, and within time you will see, you know, how far you have come. You will see your strength, but just know now to have strength. Know that you have strength. Gain some strength, some courage. Even if you don't, tell yourself every day. Put that in your affirmations and your mantras that you are strength. You know what I mean? You can do this. You can continue what's about to happen when you have to dead something. Okay? So this reading might get a little tough for some people, because with that Strength card, you might have to, you know, not be so emotional. Not emotional, but don't be so bent up about what I'm gonna say about your card, you know, what you have to dead, you know, because when you have to kill something, sometimes killing things could be like, you know, emotional. Think about people who have to put their pets to sleep and stuff like that, but they had to do a Libra thing, right? They had to balance, okay, the benefits, okay, and, you know, the non-benefits, you know, is this more helpful or this is more harmful? And they have to think about everybody, not only the pet, but themselves, the family. If they don't have relatives in the house, the neighbors might be in love with their animal. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so that's just the bottom line of that. So we're going to start with Scorpios first, because everybody's in Scorpio right now. You know, it's like a party in the Scorpio. There's a party in the 8th house right now. So it must be a lot of strength going on with the moon being there, the sun being there, the North Node being there, and Venus being there, and Mercury is about to slide up in there as well. So dead that to birth this. All right, have a wonderful day and night during this. Scorpios, happy Scorpio season to you all. I am here to read you, okay, your reading for the new moon in Scorpio. So not only is it your season, it is a new moon in your season as well in Scorpio, and you got a full house. Okay, so everybody's here to visit you. Okay, so let's take a look here. You got the 9 of Cups. So this reading is about your season. In order to do that whole phoenix rising thing that you do, right, that everybody does, but you represent that. Okay, so you gotta dead that in order to birth this. Okay, so dead that in order to birth this, because this is the time where we start to become spiritually enlightened, you know, with ourselves, you know, in tune with what's going on, right, to get ready for the new year. So what do we have to get rid of in order for us to birth this whole new thing? Okay, so you got the 9 of Cups here, and you are a water sign, and there's a heart in that cup, by the way. And within that heart, though, you see the flowers and the leaves blooming out of that heart. So you already know where this is going to lead, pretty much. So 9 of Cups, your heart desires become a physical reality. This dream is blooming. It's about divine time. A lot of us see where things are going ahead of time. As nature begins to run its course, we become eager. At last, it is here. So, while you're experiencing the 9 of Cups energy, you need to dead the indulgence of it all. Okay? Dead the overindulgence of it all. Whatever you know, and this is a personal thing, You don't need to look to your left or your right. It's a personal thing. You know what you indulge in, right? And if people indulge into different things, when people think of indulging, they usually think of what? Drugs or alcohol. But there's so many other avenues that people indulge in. It can be, reality TV. It could be porn. It can be food. It can be procrastination. Anything that you are in your deep desires. And if you don't know what that is, look up desires, look up indulgent, look up deep indulgence is. Look up what it means to hang around in your root chakra all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? And it just stays there. Look that up, okay? You can look it up in any form, Western culture, Eastern culture. It doesn't matter. It's all going to say pretty much the same exact thing, okay? So whatever that indulgence is, you have to dead that. Okay, you have to, and the thing is, you have to dead that during your season. But like I said in the intro, you got the power. And not only did I say that, a card done, showed out and was like, oh, I want to give you a baseline of this reading. You have strength to do it, and it does take time. And this reading here talked about time. It's about divine time. Whether you want to say it's about divine time or it's about divine time. You know what I'm saying? Either way. You know what I mean? You got the power to do this. So if you didn't think you have the strength or the courage, and you represent bravery, you also represent that phoenix rising where you can get out of your root chakra, you can get out of your indulgence, and you can rise it on up, right? You know what I'm saying? And poof, birth. This card is just so on point. Now, what you're going to bring birth to is moderation. So by you deading your indulgence during your season, and this is if I heard it, I'd be like, God dang, you know what I'm saying? I was about to, because every time somebody, come on, just, I don't care where you are, when your day come around, your flight day come around, you get all like, I'm about to, some people forget about their responsibilities, you know what I mean? What they got to do on a daily basis. They just like, it's all about them. And that is true. But even with the perks of it all, you also have the power to work on the stuff that you need to get rid of. So that way, when you come around to your next season, you're not in the same spot. You're not in the same place that you was a year ago. You can look back a year ago and see all that growth that you have made because you started to work on this now during your season. So work on deading your indulgence. There's a lot of help. Go with what resonates with you. My suggestion would be do shadow work. Work on your shadow self, your deep, darkest self. Something that your mama or whoever raised you can't even tell you about that. They could probably, if they really know you, and they know you for a long period. Just because you know somebody for 5-10 years don't mean you know them. Okay? Know them. So you might have somebody in your life that knows you more than anybody else in the world knows you. But I'm talking about the stuff that people really don't know. You can handle that too, but this you got the power, so why not go deep? Go deeper, okay? Deeper. And you're a Scorpio, so you can definitely bury yourself, and you already know I'm not telling you nothing for sure. It's just reinforcement of what you already know, okay? So that is your reading for the new moon in your sign, Scorpio, during Scorpio season. And I'm also going to be doing a Scorpio season reading, but I figured since the alignments is just so on point, especially with Venus being there, and that's another thing, Venus is there in your sign, so there's going to be a lot of emphasis on your indulgence, okay? Because Venus can indulge, but she checks herself. So you can either use the indulgence of Venus energy and forget the part about her checking herself, because Venus would not be Venus if she did not check herself. She wouldn't be as a huge energy if she didn't learn how to stabilize herself and structure herself. So look at the other side of Venus, okay, and look at, okay, I can use some of that. Yes, she likes her fine wine. You know what I'm saying? But she also knows how to be moderate with it. So take a leap while she in your house. Go on and check out what Venus do, okay, and how she's able to still thrive and still be, you know, comfortable and happy and content with her satisfaction of everything. You know, she's at that balance, you know, and that's how she continues to grow. All right. And also the North Node is in your sign. So it's going to be some things that you used to do that you might not want to do no more, but you're not at that point of strength and bravery, which bravery is you, once again, to go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? If you know it's going to get you rising, then you know you need to cut that out, because right now it's just hanging there. You know how somebody pulls back like a boomerang or something like that? It's just like holding back, and it just keeps getting hold back, hold back, hold back, hold back, hold back, hold back, because you don't want to let nothing go. So that ball or that boomerang is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to project nowhere. It's not going to go to a new space, a new environment, experience anything new. It's not going to do none of that. You know what I mean? It's just holding back, holding back, getting more resistance, more resistance, more resistance, more resistance, more resistance, more resistance, to the point where the thing might even snap, and it never goes anywhere. You had all that potential built up. Now it's time to project it, but you back, and now it's snapped. Now it's no good. Now you got to go store and buy another one. Now you're just wasting an hour, and because they ran out, your Amazon ran out. So now what are you going to do? Now you got to resort to making your own boomerang, and you get too lazy because now you're all depressed and whatnot, and you indulge some more because of that depression. So it's like, don't even go down the rabbit hole, because I know you can get real deep in that rabbit hole. All right, have a good day and night, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Descendants, for this new moon reading in Scorpio. What's around Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Jupiters? This is your new moon reading for the Scorpio new moon in Scorpio season. How y'all doing out there? All right, so this reading is about dead dad to birth this. So during this time, during this new moon energy, and actually I would give it the whole Scorpio season, the whole fall season. You know what I'm saying? I'll just give it all the whole fall season if you need to work on it a little bit harder, okay? So here's your thing. You're going to have to dead the blaming in order to birth accountability here, okay? And you're going to have to take a look, detailed look, you know, about yourself and how you are seen and felt around others, okay? So with this devil card, the devil energy exists within you, within everybody, right? Just like our cartoon, you'll have like the devil on one side, and then you'll have the angel on the other side, right? So the negativity that you repress, everybody does repression, but this is specifically you. The negativity that you repress will manifest within your physical reality and increase your anxiety. You are your own worst enemy. Putting a name on an external entity is a projection that creates a scapegoat. When you aren't capable of accepting the decisions you've made, there must be someone else to blame. It's essential to accept you, who you are, and the things that you've done forgivingly. Forgive yourself. Transcend. Be that phoenix rising, okay? Transcend the feeling of being powerless. Get out your root chakra, okay? And the root chakra to the point where it's on the side of woe is me. You're your worst enemy. You have a lot of negative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dark thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're limiting yourself. You feel like you can't do anything. You know, you're letting addictions and things like that get to you and hold on to you. Whether an addiction don't have to be a drug and alcohol. Addiction can be a person. Addiction can be watching too much television. You know what I'm saying? Addiction can be anything, shopping, whatever. So transcend the feeling of being powerless and use this root chakra energy and rise, you know, rise it up. And if you don't know, the Phoenix rising is related to Scorpio, and we are in Scorpio season, and this is the new moon. So this is time to do the whole dead the blaming game, so that you can birth accountability. And when you birth accountability, you will see your world change. When you start to look at you and fix the problems within you and yourself, and it starts with your thoughts, okay? You're all dark thoughts and stuff like that and all that. Start doing some shadow work, you know, like literally do some I do pull out shadow card readings. So just, if you haven't hit the notification, I think you can hit notification when I'm subscribing, but I really don't care. But if you want to keep up on because I don't do them often, but when I do them, you can see it pop up. But yeah, so definitely look into some shadow work. There's a lot of people that are starting to talk about it now more so than ever. I would probably look into somebody who's been talking about shadow work before 4 years ago. So so you can kind of filter to see when, you know, the video posted for at least 4 years old or older, nothing 4 years or less. So you can get some good stuff by that. And you know, start working on yourself. Start carving in some time to do that for yourself. Have a wonderful day and night. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Jupiter during this Scorpio new moon during Scorpio season. What's around Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Saturns? This is your new moon tarot card reading for the Scorpio new moon and Scorpio season. So the whole theme of this is you're going to have to dead that in order to birth this. So with this 2 of Swords, you're going to have to dead your indecisiveness in order to birth clarity. And your indecisiveness is all over the place. I mean, it fluctuates very fastly, and it's just overwhelming. You're overthinking, so you're going to have to definitely put them swords down and start to bring about clarity in your life. So with the 2 of Swords, there is a battle between 2 wolves inside you, as the Cherokee say, inside all of us. So if you know this Cherokee proverb, you understand that one wolf is angry, envious, and inferior, while the other one is empathetic, humble, and honest. As they both exist together, the one that you cater to the most is the one that succeeds. Turbulent emotions occur when these forces are at play. So in this case, it can be difficult for you to make a decision. Allow your anger and ego to subside so that in resting waters, you can figure out what decision to make with clarity. Okay, so with this Caps, you might have to look up some meditations and some books or podcasts or whatever, if you're just getting into it, of how to clear your mind. You know, yoga is, to me, is a good place to start learning how to clear your mind, because you're doing different activities with your body and all the kind of things. The calmness of it all, the stillness of it all, even though you are moving. Plus there's different kind of yogas, so there's no excuse, you know, like there's yogas for in the car, yogas while you're in your office, and all kind of stuff. So start to look into some ways to clear your mind, and the best way to clear your mind is to meditate or go to sleep. But since, you know, nobody can sleep all day, you know, because we got things to do, meditation, and that's not what we're here for, really, to sleep all day. So let's be realistic about it. And even if you could, you wouldn't. Let's be real. When you go on vacation, okay, maybe the first day and a half, depending on how hard you had to travel, what was your life like before you went on vacation, you might need, and depending on how much time you got to stay there, if you got all week, you might take that first day or night just to like sleep, you know what I mean? Because of what you just left. And then start to go ahead and move about the day. But you're not sleeping the whole entire 7 days, because eventually your body's going to be like, hello, you know, we here, we're in this life right here. Wake up and participate in this life here. Stop staying in your dream world. you know, in other dimensions and whatnot. Come back here. Yeah, so look into that. Look into some meditation practices and put the swords down. You know, no need to be overthinking too much and all that. No need to be battling when you meditate or doing yoga. They're going to teach you about battling between, you know, both the wolves. They might not say wolves, but it's like two sides. Just like when you see in the cartoons, there's usually like a devil or an angel or something like that. One represents one wolf, the other one represents the other wolf, and then the other one gets knocked off, and the other one gets, you know, and there's a battle back and forth and whatnot on the shoulders of these people. So basically, that's what it is in a cartoonish way, right? In a tarot way, what you're looking at right there. But you exactly know what I'm talking about. So yes, mental clarity is what you're going to rise into, but first you have to handle your indecisiveness. You have to dead that. Have a wonderful day and night, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, during this Scorpio new moon during Scorpio season. What's around Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants? This is your tarot card reading for the new moon in Scorpio during Scorpio season. And this tarot card reading is what you need to put to death, you know, dead that so that you can birth this, all right? So you got the Fool card here, right? And there's nothing wrong with the Fool card. Everybody be all hyped when they get the Fool card because of the words that, the definition that society has put on it. You know, it's a bad word in a sense, you know, not like a curse word, but a negative word. It calls somebody a fool, right? But technically, right, there's both sides to everything, right? Even a word, you can figure it out some kind of way. Like, okay, wait, hold on a second, of what it is and what societies have put it as. So the Fool card, the zero card, so it's like at the beginning, like the beginning, and you're just like in this beginningness, right? But in the beginning of anything, especially if something's new, you know, it can be a little reckless. So your thing is, you know, to dead your recklessness, because sometimes it can be intentional, sometimes it's unintentional, because we're human, right? We're born to make mistakes, right? So, and that's how you learn. See, mistakes is not even bad, and especially during this time. If you do make mistakes, don't even worry about it. Don't like be so hard on yourself. Just know that, okay, I learned from this mistake and now I know how not to repeat it. Now, if you want to remain reckless and keep repeating those mistakes, you know, then you can go to the societal term of what a fool is, okay? Now, the tarot card reading is about dead that, okay? So you can birth this. So with the Fool card, you're pretty much at the beginning stages. Like it's all new. Anything that's new, you know, you're gonna be a little clumsy, a little, you know, airheaded about it. And the Fool card is really, like, a lot of people like to attach the Fool card to air signs, like airheads. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like we doing things, you know, free-spirited, and, you know, hence my name, Free to Be. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, all this old, we're naive to things and blah, 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 blah. But this is how air signs get to know, and you are the sign of knowing things in life, because we done went through it, made mistakes, fell, so now we can just tell everybody else. And we met a lot of people because we talk a lot and socialize a lot to hear other people's mistakes, so therefore we just spread it all over the world. Hence air sign, air spread. So the air that I'm breathing now, you know, somebody in China is going to be breathing the same air, and in Russia, and it just cycles around. Okay, it ain't going nowhere, just like the water. Okay, so anyway, so indecisiveness, dead your recklessness. Dead your recklessness, and in order to birth your intuition, okay? This is the thing that you want to birth during this season, is your intuition. And this is a great time to do it because Scorpio is a water sign, and water carries intuition. Is a sign of intuition, going with the flow within you, not no one else's flow, other people's flow. But it's a difference between being reckless and people viewing what you're doing as reckless and distasteful way of doing this, and oh, you know, he's a fool, she's a fool, or they dumb, you know what I'm saying? They airheaded, they don't even know what they're doing. It's different between that versus using your intuition and them just not understanding the innocence of it all, what you're doing, the spontaneity, why it's important for it to be spontaneous, the risk factor and the risk taking of it all. They might not understand that, but when you use your intuition, they don't need to really understand. There is no explanation needed because you don't use your intuition so much so that they'll see it, but they'll see it. This is my timer because I'm trying not to get like part 2s and stuff because YouTube will cut it off after an hour. But basically, with the intuition, you can't go wrong with that. And even though others might not understand it at the moment, they will see that fruit come the new year, come the spring. They will see where that intuition led you. Now, the recklessness, they'll be able to see it now, and their judgment will be right because next during the new year, you know, ain't nothing changed. You still reckless. Ain't nothing produced out of it. Yeah, so nothing came out of it, and you're still being reckless. And you know what you produce is reckless, and not in a hip hop term. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just like, yeah, this dude's stupid. You know what I'm saying? A year from now, you're still doing reckless stuff. Nothing has risen. It's still, you know. So that's the point that I'm trying to reach to. So for you, an unknown path unfolds as this, you know, energy, your energy explores, you know, because it's new. Although the risks are clear, they also need to be assessed, okay? The fool remains committed, okay? So these new experiences are monumental. This requires stepping into the unknown. There is no way to compare this to concrete experiences. You have to follow your intuition, and to some, that may seem foolish. Still, if we were never a bit foolish, we wouldn't encounter new experiences. Have a wonderful day and night, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Uranus during this new moon in Scorpio reading. What's around Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants? This is your tarot card reading for the new moon in Scorpio during Scorpio season. All right. So this tarot card reading is about deading something. Dead that. All right. So you got the Temperance card, number 14. And you're going to have to dead excessiveness in order to birth balance, okay? Because the Temperance is all about balance, all right? So if you can see it clearly, I believe, you'll be able to see something coming from her head down, and that's water coming from her head, excuse me, down into a cup. That takes practice to do that. You know, that takes patience to do that. That takes, you know, making a whole lot of mistakes, you know. That takes moderation, how much water should stream out, you know. Anytime you're trying to anytime you're working on perfecting something, you know, there's going to be some bumps along the way, but the goal is to keep going because there's a purpose of it, which is called realignment. You know what I'm saying? Aligning oneself to, you know, yourself. And that might have to deal with some self-healing that you have to do or whatever, but you have to dead the excessiveness that's going on. And you can pinpoint what in your life is that excessiveness. And it could be a person, place, or thing, a habit. It could be anything. Temperance integrates the virtue held between two vessels, okay? And that's you and whatever you're relating to, right? This transformation is repetitive fluctuation of structure and balance. Many integrations must occur to transcend limitations, and this is the season of Scorpio. During the Scorpio new moon is what this is all about. The Phoenix rising is the Scorpio sign, okay? So you want to transform any limitations that you have on not being able to balance. This is the work of purification. It's an angelic archetype, hence the wings that she has there. When you receive downloads, you begin to integrate and restore information that you didn't understand was subconscious. This illumination of knowledge restores balance and continues to redirect your path. So during this time, Pisces, in order to birth the balance in your life, where you can see, all the gifts and opportunities that comes within you and your external environment because of your balance, you're gonna have to get rid of some things, okay? And the beginning of this reading was about strength, having strength. And that was for everybody, regardless of what was going on. Just having strength to handle whatever you have to get rid of. And you have Pluto at home in your sign, okay? And, when you're comfortable and at home, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not even worrying about, you're just real comfortable about situations. But have the strength to know what you're doing that's overboard, and if you balance it out, your life will be way much better. You will be in that situation, you will become the Phoenix rising, handling your excessiveness to realignment. Have a wonderful day and night. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Neptune during this new moon in Scorpio. What's around, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendants? This is your tarot card reading for the new moon in Scorpio during Scorpio season, right? So this reading is about what you need to put to death. So dead that in order to birth this. So for you, Aries, you have to dead that feeling of lacking, like you're missing something, like you're lacking something. You're not whole unless you have this. You're not complete unless you have that. That type of feeling. Woe is me because I can't do this without this particular thing, or yada, 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 yada. And it might come up often because it wanted to show itself, for sure. It wanted to show itself. So this card wanted to come out. And so this means that it's a daily basis that you're thinking about it, or whether it's not, you're thinking about it, that feeling of lacking, that feeling of you're depleted in some area, whether it's a person, place, or thing. There's a depletion somewhere, and you need ... in order to, feel, prosperous, or, free, not worry anymore. Like, okay, yeah, just it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But the Five of Pentacles is basically telling you that you have to pretty much shine your own light, on yourself. Like you have to be inspired to be whole, no matter if, it might make your life easier if you had whatever you're lacking, but your journey at this moment is not calling for you to have it at this moment, and for whatever reason, you will know in the future, because time tells everything. You know what I'm saying? You will know in the future why at this particular moment, whatever you felt like you lacked or you needed, why you didn't have it at this time. So take a look at that. Even go back into your, take a look back in your past and think about the times that you felt lack of, whether, you felt lack of a personality, lack of, just anything, lack of blah, 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 like really, and lack of money, lack of whatever. Just look back and just see the journey and what was going on, and now that you look back at it, what you have learned. Aha, maybe it was lack of a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know what I mean? And now that you look back at it, like, thank goodness I didn't go out with that person, or I didn't marry that person, or I didn't, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't have relations with that person. I didn't blah, 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 blah. Or thank goodness I thought I wanted, I'm a lack of a good place to live, let's say. Then it's like, okay, and you had your mind set on something else, but then you found out some news that is like, wow, it was better that I was in the place that I was instead of moving on, because now, you know, I could see, you know, what it transpired. So use that as a tool to remind yourself, use your past as a tool to remind yourself that you will see why you don't have those things in your life right now. And in a lot of cases, you know, all cases actually, we're here to learn. So there's something that you have to learn, you know, first, or something you have to get first, or something that you just have to go through because it's a journey. But when you come through that journey, you know, with that lack of, or what you thought you had a lack of, you will see, oh my gosh, I became more stronger, more confident, more like, you know what I'm saying, more whole and healthier, and you know, my mind is great, you know what I'm saying, like, because I know I could do it, because I was there before when I thought I couldn't, because I was lacking this, but then now, right, so you're going to prove yourself, and you're going to shine so bright to yourself, you know, you're going to be like, wow, okay. So with the Five of Pentacles, there is a key to understanding where you fit in. You know, sometimes your insecurities can lock you out. Maybe you don't feel like you belong at this table. You know, maybe you don't feel like you are worthy to have $1 billion company. You know, whatever it is. I'm just gonna reset this. I have a timer, so I don't try to keep the videos under an hour, so they don't be like a part 2 and things like that and confuse people. So, if you feel that you don't belong, it could be due to a lack of security, and it could be in any situation, right? We all belong to each other. We all share the same space, the same energy. We all living up under the sun, right? We're all neighbors. So it's our sense of insecurity that we must first reconcile. We must unprogram, okay, the conditioning that had made us feel small. So if you're feeling inadequate with anything, I don't care what it is, and you'll be surprised with people inadequacy. Sometimes people really open up and tell you, you know, how they feel, what makes them feel small and insecure. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, I didn't even know that. What? Huh? Because all this time they learned how to perfect masking it and overdoing things to compensate for that and this, that, and the other, so it can feel more complete and feel more whole. But in reality, no, it's just a cover up, so that, you know, you don't feel no type of way about this person's insecurities, and they ain't got to hear how you feel about them, even though social media is just who's tearing up people's insecurities. But anyway, so whatever it is in your life, you need to unprogram that, unprogram those thoughts, you know, unprogram it. It could be that you grew up a certain way and you don't know no other way but that way. But it might be something that maybe your parents, you know, I'm just gonna get something simple. They only could afford this type of bread, the cheap bread, right? And now that you can afford fresh baked bread that's sliced for you, you can choose, you know, what the taste. You can even taste it before you buy it. It can actually be a loaf that's warm. You know, you can see it made in front of your eyes. You can have seeds in it. You can put nuts in it. You can have garlic on it. But you can have an inch cheese on it. All kind of things that the baker would do. But because you've been programmed to get this 89-cent loaf of bread, right? Well, now it's probably what? Because inflation, I don't know. An 89-cent bread is probably like $1, no more than $2 now. And you got $1 trillion, and you found out that on the news that this bread is unhealthy for you because it got that in it, right? But you continue to eat the bread, even though, because you've been programmed through all your life, because that's the only thing they can afford. It's not like they didn't want to buy something else, but to make ends meet, they had to get the $2 bread, because maybe somebody's going through a growth spurt and they know that loaf of bread is going to be gone within the next 24 hours. So if they know they got to be back the next day, let me get the cheap bread so that the people in the household can survive, right? But here you are, got all this money, and you can choose something else but decide to stay with that same thing because you programmed it. That's just a petty example, but you get what I'm talking about. There's more to it. There's more, to your life than what you've been programmed to believe it is. Some teachers tell the kids in kindergarten, first grade, that they ain't gonna be nothing. You might be 40 years old and still holding on to that. You know what I mean? I mean, the little things that the programming is crazy. It can even be just social media. Forget social media. It just be whatever's on regular TV. Forget that. It could just be, whatever was told for you in your household. You know how many people got scars from their siblings calling them fat or calling them ugly, or somebody that they really cared, loved, and deeply, or crushed or something, said something about them. Do you know that these people probably married now and still have an insecurity from some first love that they fell in love with in the 5th grade? You know what I'm saying? Like, it get that crazy when it comes to programming. So I ain't even start the timer, but I ain't even standing this long. But definitely, you want to dead the feeling of the lacking. And by deading that, you're going to birth into spiritual prosperity. Okay? And once you're spiritually prosperous, everything's taken care of. There is no lack of. Okay? There is no lack of. Right? So, dead the lacking feeling, right? Which is killing some of those programs. Get rid of some of them chips that's been programmed inside you. If you could physically do it, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Get rid of it. But what I'm talking about is thoughts and emotions, right? Same way. Get rid of it, right? And be birthed, the phoenix rising, birth into your spiritual prosperity during the Scorpio new moon, during Scorpio season, okay? Have a wonderful day and night, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Mars during the Scorpio new moon. What's around Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Taurus? This is your new moon reading in Scorpio during Scorpio season, and the whole theme of this reading is what you need to put to death in order to birth, okay? In order to bring something else to birth. So, dead that in order to birth this, okay? And you got the 9 of Pentacles, okay, which is a great card to have. And this is such a Taurus card, it's not even funny right now. And this is a good card for you right now too, because you got Uranus and the North Node in your sign. So it's all about you being comfortable in your own skin and you being on your path, onward and upward. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on to something new. There's a new path, and on the way you are still continuing to be yourself. Even amongst the crowd, you are just your unique, original self, unapologetically. You're comfortable in your own skin. And this card, 9 of Pentacles, is like, and you a hustler. I'm a hustler. Hey, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. Okay, I'm a hustler. Okay, so anyway, so this is you hustling out here. You hustling. Okay, you got those coins up in there. You got lots of them. You know what I mean? You got abundance all around you. So much so the bird is like, hey, I know you got some bird seeds in there because you all out here. You all picking up all the fruits and vegetables off of your abundant garden. You got some roses to put in your living room, dining room, bedroom, bathroom, and garage. I mean, you just got abundance. Like, who put flowers in their garage? Taurus. Because they talking about the garage got to have a theme and look good too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. And you got Venus and Scorpio right now, which is your ruling planet. And it's a Scorpio season. So this here is saying dead working for luxuries and birth working for your solitude. So dead that whole luxurious energy, going towards that, focusing on that, working on that, because that's what all the end result is getting fine things, the finer things in life, the abundance, the working hard, or working smart, you know what I'm saying, getting your hustle mode on, like you all independent, you don't need nobody, you know what I'm saying, that whole type of thing, that's all good. But this is Scorpio season, Okay, and you got Venus in Scorpio season. So now it's time to value yourself. So you're going to birth working towards your solitude. And with the Nine of Pentacles, you know, you're independent. Like I said, you a hustler. You lavish in your abilities to enjoy the finer things in life, right? That's all Taurus. Ain't nothing wrong. This card is a Venus card. All right, so but this energy emphasizes the luxuries of solitude. It is a blessing to be by yourself. Regrouping and grounding in the appreciations of who you are as an individual is a luxury. Take all the time you need. You got all the Scorpio season. You know, Venus is going to be there for a little while, you know, so you might as well take time out. You know, if you're out, you know, and you go out to dinners and stuff like that, maybe use some more time to have dinners, you know, at home, somewhere private, somewhere personal, where you don't have to talk. You don't have to come up with a conversation. You don't have to do this or that. And you can eat whatever you want, and you know it tastes good. You know, some restaurants you go and you pay a lot of money for it, but it don't taste as good as you can make it at home. You know what I'm saying? You might just want to, you know, just instead of going down and get ice cream at the ice cream parlor, you might just want to go get you a tub at the regular grocery store with all the fixings and enjoy it at home, because you know you're doing some journal writing and you got to have a bowl of ice cream on the side while you journal writing. So you got your luxury fixing and you're working on grounding yourself and aligning yourself in order for your next hustle mode. So luxury is spending time with yourself. So don't put the luxury on the material things that you're working for. You want to dead some of that. I'm not saying, oh, I want you to be broke and stuff like that. No. Nobody tell you that. But I'm saying if you know that you're not putting in any time for yourself and looking at yourself as just being luxury in itself, you're going to have to add that in there to create some balance. All right. This is just a timer just so I can keep everything on like one video instead of two. All right. Have a wonderful day and night, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Venuses during this Scorpio new moon season. What's around Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Mercury's Gemini? This is your tarot card reading for the Scorpio new moon and Scorpio season. And this is about what you need to kill in order to birth something new, or what you need to put death to in order to birth something new. So dead that in order to birth this. And you got the Five of Cups. So with the Five of Cups here, it's telling me that you need to dead your disappointments and you need to give birth to moving on. Okay? So dead your disappointments in order to move on. Okay? That's going to be your Phoenix rising for Scorpio season. Put death to disappointment and move on. So it can be disappointment within yourself. It could be disappointment within others that might have affected whatever decisions they have made, affected, you know, you in some kind of way. Maybe it's, you know, putting your hopes and dreams and whatever into a person, place, or thing, and that didn't work out. But you saw something better for that situation, but it didn't work out. So it feels like time has been wasted, you know, and all of that. It could be just, you know, being pessimistic at a whole, where you just holding on to, you know, negative thoughts and grudges and things like that, even though they should be released. It can be, you know, oh, I should be at this point in my life by now, but I'm not. It could be, you know, certain setbacks. Maybe you had thought something was going to work out by this date, but now you got to wait, you know, a little longer. And Geminis don't like really wait. Okay, they're like, we gotta go. Okay, so you know, show it to the Geminis. It's time to go. It is time to go, you know? So this card is about, you know, self-forgiving. I mean, you can't really change people's actions and how they feel and how they think. I mean, you could, but, you know, you're going to be wasting a lot of time and energy, you know, because nobody can change themselves but themselves. So don't waste that energy and start with, you know, your own self and figure out, okay, start with forgiving yourself. Like, oh, dang, I've been so disappointed or whatever. This didn't work out, Let me forgive the situation. You know, not forget, but forgive this situation and let me move on, you know, let me not hold on to this disappointment because this, that, and the other didn't work out. Let me just continue to move on. And this is Scorpio season, so, and with the Scorpio new moon, it's kind of like, and we did just come out of a lot of retrogrades. I mean, some, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we still have 6 left, went from 9 to 6. So still, you know, it is a little easier when thinking about the past and having the past come up and all the kind of stuff. But it's getting a little lighter, you know. So, you know, 6 from 9 is a big deal, especially when you're dealing with rewind. It's like rewind 9 times, like, oh my gosh. So 6 is not bad. So you still might be in that mode where you're just rethinking about everything and just, you know, making sure that, you know, the decisions that you're making are right. Should I go this way or that way? I don't know, because it's happened before, and then this person that, and that person this, and this place this, and that thing that, and the blah, 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 and I did this and this, then I should have did that. Yeah, you're wasting a lot of time, okay? So the 5 of Cups, it feels like you have messed up, all right? These dynamics come in relationships when there is either miscommunication or mixed signals. And this could be a person, place, or thing. It's hard to communicate clearly when you are still trying to figure out your true intentions, okay? So this kind of stuck moment that you're having with regrets and this, that, and the other, while you're in there, find out the intentions. Find out what is your intentions, how it got you in the first place, why did that happen, and then move on, all right? You write it down. You know, journal it out, talk it out if you have to, you know. When we are setting a new foundation within any type of relationship, even with ourselves, we're constantly deciding where we stand in this process. This can be very tricky, and we don't want to send wrong messages, you know, to other people. You don't even want to send a wrong message to yourself. Excuse me, that's a timer because I'm trying to keep everything under an hour, the whole video, so I don't have to do a part 2, but whatever. We just have to get used to part 2s, right? So yeah, it could be a little bit tricky. So even when you make mistakes, remember there's always room for growth, okay? So take it easy on yourself. And this is a time, I told the other zodiac signs too, this is that time where if you make mistakes, don't wallow on them. Keep it light. And you're an air sign. So you see the flowers over there with that cup over there? That's pretty much your spot, usually. Geminis can be here, you know, a lot. But you choose to be there. You know, you choose to be there. But if you choose to be there, it's only going to make things worse. If you're going to stay in this funk here, this regret, this disappointment, is only going to continue to grow. And you don't want that to grow during Scorpio season. You see the crows there, right? You don't want that to grow, all right? Because it's gonna keep growing. So it's okay, I understand, because the energy is saying retrograde, go back, sit in it, learn from it, So you're going to have to do that. And Geminis are thinkers and learners, so they want to think about their emotions. So yeah, get that out. Like I said, it's always good to, you're Gemini, write it out. Speak it out into, nobody has, this is a personal thing. This is Scorpio. This is internal, nobody around you type work. You know, you want to talk to yourself or talk to in a voice mail type message so you can replay it back. Because you know how when you're talking to something and then you hear it back, it don't sound like yourself? You need that right now. So listen to yourself, tell yourself about yourself, okay? And then you could go up there to the cups and appreciate the wine that's in there, the lovely flowers. You can go back and smell, you know, the lovely flowers. It gets a little lighter over on that side. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to dead that disappointment so that you can birth moving on. Have a wonderful day and night. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Mercury during the Scorpio new moon in Scorpio season. What's around Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendants? This is your tarot card reading for the Scorpio new moon during Scorpio season. And it's about dead that in order to birth this. So what do you have to put to death in order to birth that? Okay? So you have the 10 of Wands here. Are you working hard, aren't you? You is working hard. You got a project. You just moving forward. You ain't looking around. You just steadfast, okay? And this is that saying that you need to dead the fact that you're not having no fun, okay? So dead no fun so you can birth releasing, okay? Now, I know you're working hard. I know you have plans. I know you got extra responsibilities and you're in this whole I need to complete it. And that's all good. We all rooting for you, like literally rooting for you, and you're carrying on, you're doing it all yourself and all the other kind of stuff. And that's all cool and dandy. But you're going to have to you're going to have to dead the fact that you're having no fun, because this process could take a while. It might be, I don't know, it could be a project that takes a week, or it could be a project that takes 6 months, or a project that takes a year or 2 years. It doesn't matter. The fact is you're working really hard on something, so much so that you're not even taking a break. You know what I mean? Like you sleeping it, drinking it, eating it. It is like no time within that day, within not even a day where we at now? Are we at? Yeah, well, we're still almost like 6-7 hours of daylight, right? 6-7 hours. I'm sorry, like 10 or 11, probably like 10 now of daylight and check. But you taking it into the night, into the day, to the night, to the day. So yeah, that's the fact that you're not having no fun, so that you can birth releasing, all right? So even if you gotta delegate, I know sometimes when you work on a project and you want it right, but it could be a minor task that takes you, an hour to 2 hours, but if you teach somebody something, they might do it, get it as close as possible. It might not be exactly, but it could be something tedious, and that way you can have a break to do something, or you can, pick up some yoga techniques or a workout or something to get your mind off, or take a walk, or just something that gets you out of that work. And I know society has that over our heads, around the world, because nothing has been sound for people since the whole last 3 years. Everybody's just like hype. So I understand that. but you're gonna have to squeeze some release time. It don't even have to be, fun in the way of, going outside and hula hooping or bowling or golfing or hanging out with your friends. Fun, having some release time or some fun could be, you could be watching a movie. I haven't watched a movie in 2 years. That could be a moment. That could be fun to you. It was just you and the TV, or you and, your close ones. But it don't have to be crazy, or maybe it's just a regular board game, or you ain't played cards in a while, or maybe you'll go to I don't want to say casino, because you're like, nah, I ain't spending my money, I got things to do with it. But you can, whatever you consider to be fun, even if it is getting a team together and play some soccer in the field for an hour, or whatever it is, or you can go, it might be project driven. Maybe you've been working on this project, but in order to get some more insight towards your project, you might go to some place that will give you that insight, where you're just walking around and you're observing and you're listening, you're learning. It's not about your project, but whatever you're going to listen and learn and talk to or whatever, it somehow is going to relate to you, helping your business or helping whatever you're working on better. So maybe you want to do that, I know if you're writing music, people don't like to listen to other people's music, but maybe going to a museum, you're trying to get this music project going and done and completed. I'm just giving an idea. And you don't like to listen to other people's music, so you don't get influenced, but maybe you like art and stuff. Go to the museum, walk around. There might be something there in that art gallery that inspires something to be put in your music. Things like that. You can take a break. So whatever you're working on, it's burdensome work, but these last exertions are within reach, so don't give up yet, okay? You made it this far. It can feel overwhelming, but these investments are essential. What you're doing is essential. That's what I say, keep going on your path, but you want to have some moments within, your day, your week, you know, your month where you're releasing, you're decompressing, so that way you can go back to what you're working on more stronger. Okay? So, yes, you made it this far. It can be overwhelming, but your investments that you're putting, your energy that you're putting into this thing to complete